Chinese is creative. I'll explain why. So, first of all, I would like to talk about what actually creativity is. In my opinion, there are two main types of creativity. The type one is the originally invented, which is you know, they are purely invented. The products are purely invented. So, how to say, you know what I'm saying. For example, condom. You know, they are just for preventing from pregnancy and then also preventing from the sexual diseases. And the phone is to use to communicate with each other. So that's the main purpose. So they are just the before there were no such things. So they just invented new things and then they come out. So they referring they are referring nothing to the past existing things. That's the type one creativity. So nowadays in China, many high technology like high speed railway and then the electronic commerce like the Tencent Pay and then the Phone Pay using no Visa card or Mastercard. That kind of things are called Taiwan creativity. And in the ancient China, there were gunpowder, paper, compass, etc. They were the originally invented products. So I don't know whether you guys get what I'm saying, get what I have taught, but I think generally it's just something like new, brand new, brand new invention without referring referring the past existing things without referring the existence. That's the type one invention, type one creativity. And second one is the to mix the existing things to form new things. That's the type two creativity. One example is the cell phone, the smartphone nowadays we are using. Never thought of that before. It integrates a lot of different categories, products like the video player, camera, computer, phone, or a game console. So you never thought of that before, but now you are using the smartphone contains all the functions from the different categories. That's the type two creativity to mix the existing things like video player, camera, computer, phone, a game console. The existing things are here, right? And then to form a new thing, a cell phone, to form those things into one piece. That's many scholars also agree that that is one kind of creativity. And then the type one is one kind of creativity too. So there are two types of creativity. For example, China, there are many knockoff stuff like the KFC. They changed the name to KLC or OFC or something. And the KLC has nothing similar to KFC chicken. They even serve the Chinese meal and also using USA's Burger King's logo with the KFC background color like the red color with an Obama face there. So they are totally from different categories, but they just mixing the existing things, the KLC, KFC, Obama, and in the Burger King, mixing the existing things to form a new thing. New thing is the KLC. So China now is doing that. So I think it's the type two creativity. So scholar and the many academic professionals also agree that it is really creativity. So like New Balance, a very famous American brand sneaker. Now in China, you can see New Balance is very similar to the New Balance. So they are just mixing and using the existing brand from the West, created by the Western countries. So they use the existence to form a new brand. So that is the creativity. Okay, let me show you some concrete pictures for you guys to have a quick look. See here. Now I'm showing the Taiwan creativity for you guys. So no mixing the existing things, just very originally invented, originally created. Here, I think it's very, very original. That guy is using a very funny luggage with three wheels at the bottom, and then it probably contains a motor there. So it's just like a electric movable car. So it's very creative and functionable. That's one kind of creativity. Is you can see Chinese is now very creative, and here, oh, now Chinese people now are very advanced. 50% of China's internet users have made a mobile payment, versus only 19% of internet users in the US. So you can see Chinese are very, very, advanced, even more advanced than the United States in some fields. And here, the WeChat, Tencent WeChat Pay is very famous in China. So, even one of the BBC or CNN, I forgot, CNN reporters, a reporter came to China, came to Beijing, I remember, to test whether he needed a purse or the paper money or Visa card. So he just came to Beijing using a phone with the Tencent, the WeChat Pay, and then to go different shops, restaurants to eat, to go for transportation. He just used the a phone, so he didn't bring a purse or money, didn't have notes, paper notes or the money, and didn't have the Visa card. So he said that the even in the United States, uh, he needed to, he in the United States he needs to use a lot of different Visa cards or Mastercards. So the e-commerce, electronic commerce is very creative in China. So here it's very original, right? Well, the car putting those, the brooms over there. That's crazy. To clean the street, very creative and moving with a motor. And then creative one, and that is the the bottle, all the rubbish bottle and rubbish bottles to form a canoe. That's very creative and recycle. And here a plane using the plastic or something, rubber. And here, right, another bicycle, riding a bicycle on the sea. And then that, you see that woman holding an umbrella to prevent from sun. So she doesn't even need the sunblock. So creative, using the umbrella, right? And then the bicycle. He can ride a bicycle on the sea, floating. And here, oh, so ludicrous. There are 7 or 8 drones. The drones, so many drones, so it create a force to levitate that guy. So if one drone there, so will be no enough power to levitate the guy, but 7 drones together, so it they can probably levitate the guy on the sky, flying on the sky. So it's just crazy. And here, right, hanging the chickens outside the car, the back door, which is to prevent the smell, the odor, uh, remaining in the car inside. So they are smart. So they are the originally invented things. Here also the core technology of the high-speed railway in China, and also the Dongfeng missile. The missile can be delivered to the United States, and it's called the aircraft carrier killer. The drone here selling out of the Middle East or the East Asian countries. So China invented by themselves. Drones here, right? The same, invented by China. Oh, repeated. So what I've talked about is the originally invented things, the type 1 creativity. Now I'm going to talk about the CD pictures for the type 2 creativity, mixing the existing things to form new things. So here, McDonald's, OFC, and then see here, Obama face, OFC, KFC background, mixing the existing things from the rest created by the Westerners, and Chinese using the Westerners' creation and then the inventions to form a new thing. So it's the type 2 creativity. So many scholars agree that that is the mixing the existing things to form new things, which is a kind of creativity. So Chinese is creative. So here, OFC Obama, and then oh, that's funny. McDonald with a W, not the M, and it's Michael unknown. McDonga, that's funny. And here, right, Starbucks to Sunbucks, Sony to SQNY, and Puma to Tuna. Oh, that's funny. Nike to KNIE, and the Nike, right? Oh, wow, it's funny. KFC, OFC, that kind of things is the type 2 creativity. Here, it's like Range Rover, but it's a car called Landwind. It's very famous in China. It's very cheap, and it's like a knockoff Range Rover, but in fact it's the type 2 creativity. And Google, the Google, is also a search engine, and there are so many knockoffs that so-called foreigners call them knockoff stuff. I don't think so. Oh, that's all. Okay, I think I need to sum up. Okay, let's see. I think many developing countries also go through that kind of stage to copy many things from other developed countries, like the United States before also copied from from Europe, from Germany, or from other countries. So USA also copy things a lot, and the Germany also. After the Industrial Revolution, the Britain, the UK was very, very prosperous and thriving. So the Germany also copied the UK stuff. So they invented a lot of things after copying stage. So the Japan also. Japan 30 years ago or 50 years ago, Japan also copied a lot from the West. And then that is the must-go stage. And also, I can tell you Chinese tend to solve the problem. While they are solving the problems, they create many new ways, brand new ways to solve the problem, rather than just the Taiwan creativity. when there are problems, they will come up with different new creative ways to solve the problems. So that's the Chinese character. It's like I remember, uh, I'm living in Macau, but Macau, before, restricted the Chinese to come to Macau because there are so many visitors, Chinese visitors. So they restrict them. And then but the Chinese is very clever. Clever, why? Because they just made a visa to Africa, to other country, and using Macau as the transit place. So they apply for the final destination is the African countries, but they just transit to the Macau and then stay Macau forever, and then said, oh, the air ticket or something lost, so they just stay in Macau. The, but in fact, they are not allowed to stay in Macau if they just in the first place apply for the Macau visa. They don't allow them because it's too frequent. But they just apply for the African countries, just some of the African countries. So they apply the visa for, and then for the transit country, the connected country is in Macau, and then they can go to Macau to enjoy and shop around and walk around. So they are clever to think about the new things to create something new to solve the problems. And also, the Chinese tend to use used to have the creativity in for the negative stuff. It's like the food scandal, which is very famous, is the gutter oil. They use the oil people don't use, and then they drop the oil on the gutter or the ground, and then they just get back all the ground and gutter oil from the gutter, and then they just use it back and recycling it into use it back again. So they're very smart and creative. That's the one kind of creativity. And then also they can use the pork to change the pork to beef, because they use the cow's urine to use the cow's urine, and then use the pork to soak into the cow's urine, so the pork has the very similar smell like beef, so the pork becomes beef. So they sell the pork, and then why on the menu to have the as a beef, so sell the beef out. So I think it's very smart, and it's a kind of creativity. So to sum up, Chinese people, in fact and objectively, is creative. And then the Western people mainly only have the type 1 creativity, which is the originally invented. It's like because they care too much about the law or the privacy or copyright or the something, that kind of things. But the Chinese has both type 1 invention and then the type 2 creativity, type 1 creativity and the type 2 creativity. They have both. Um, a lot of foreigners don't agree the Lockhoff stuff, which is a kind of creativity, but many scholars have already agreed that the type 2 creativity, which is to mix the existing things to form new things. It's like cell phone is a one type of example of the type 2 creativity. Now Chinese is doing that. Chinese is actually doing this. KLC, OFC, right? Using the existing things to form new thing, new brand. KFC existing, form KLC, new thing. So the Chinese is very creative in that sense. And knockoff products, I don't think they are bad or fake. They're just creative. They are just creative things. And then okay. So Chinese is creative, and they have type 1 creativity and then type 2 creativity, both. And Westerners have only type 1 creativity mainly. Seldom do they have the type 2 creativity. The Chinese type 2 creativity more and type 1 creativity few. That's all, right? So Chinese, to sum up, Chinese is creative, and then the Westerners are also creative too. That's the summary.